But yeah, basically, Nouns is an NFT collection built, of course, on the blockchain, mainnet of Ethereum. And different to other NFT projects, it's not pre-minted. It's an auction, a daily auction, a 24-hour auction, where also the assets that you buy, the NFT, goes to a treasury controlled by the same NFTs. So we have this governance aspect controlling the ETH that is being in the treasury. So we found, in my mind, cool stuff. Anybody has a definition of what is nounish, but we all kind of agree on the phrase that one of the nouners created, Punk 4156, which I'm gonna read it since it's quite small, but it says like, do good with no expectation of return, create positive externalities, embrace absurdity. Qui devo fare sì.
No?
Funziona? Okay. Embrace absurdity and difference. Teach people about nouns and crypto while having fun. And this is like the guiding principle of nouns. And any category of life can fall into it. We got communities of skaters joining, artists, developers. So it's pretty wide. And also one of the values that we kind of trying to maintain, it's the CC0 aspect. There's no IPs reserved. You can use the branding and nobody's going to sue you from nouns. In difference not to other projects that's the main selling point, that you own the IP and can exploit it. Here is totally different in that way. And as I said, also the governance aspect that we allocate capital in how we see fit.
Perfect.
Yeah, we are on air. Finally, we made it. Okay, restart for the third time, okay? Good. Non c'è due senza tre, we say in Italian, so please.
Okay, this is the actual site where we have the daily auction of today. So in 7 hours is finishing this sale of today, and the assets will go to the treasury that is right on top to the left. We have 3.6 3.6K Ethereum, and we allocate it in different projects. Proposers come to us, and in a 7-day window period, we vote yes or no with a dynamic quorum. So if you get against votes, it will be harder for you to pass. So it's our type of democracy in some way. Even if you're not given a vote just because you exist, we try to democratize it in the sense that you don't have to own a noun to even be participating in governance. We have voting bodies that people delegate their nouns since they don't, I think the person before mentioned it, you got to think about it, read the proposals, do the research. So it's a time-consuming process also. Like I spent way too much time on it. So it is difficult to do it, and people maybe don't want it, but they just bought the noun. So they delegate it to this body of people that want to vote without having the opportunity of owning one, because the prices at the beginning, they were quite high. The first one sold for 600 Ethereum, and at the time it was $1.5 million 4 years ago. So yeah, the prices were high. By the same dynamic of the auction, it can get hyped up now, competing people. So it's very difficult, but you can join without, as I said. And here you have the proposals. Now we have some art proposals, code developing apps that they do the code also CC0. So they're like protocols that anybody can fork and use by themselves. So we focus on that. And also for this specific talk, I want to highlight the projects more in the do good category, I would say. Like we built a school in Uganda, which is this one, which is pretty cool, to be honest. For me, the creator of this proposal isn't an architect or anything, but he was a student of this school when they had only 2 classrooms. And now with Nouns funding, they vamped it up to 6 buildings. Here's where it is in Africa, in Uganda specifically. So they built 6 buildings with, I would say, 13 classrooms. And it has really impacted the life of the kids right there. Like, some kids don't have to go to work to eat. They have provided food at the school and can learn. And also, this is the impact we're seeing right now. In many years, when these kids grow up, I think they will do great things by the opportunities they can now focus on their studying and leveling up their knowledge. Also, I think like the government, in given this incitement that we put, I think it was 400K to build this whole school program. Now the government is creating job opportunities, so they're revamping the area. So it's, I think, really funny, no, that a pixel of 32 by 32 is having an impact in people's lives from such a young age and giving them much more opportunities and changing basically the trajectory of their life. Instead of working now, being able to focus on studying, which is kind of deep. Also a very cool project which actually got me into it. Well, we have this one also. I'm going to ramp up this one really fast. In China, we have a children's playground with slides and everything in a mall. But then I would say, well, I'm biased, but the best one, we have the naming rights of a newly discovered frog. I think it was Nicaragua, if I'm not mistaken. But this guy that is the proposer that came to us asked for 25 ETH at the time for the preservation and conservation of the new species. And since he was the discoverer, or the guy that discovered this frog, could name it. And the scientific name, it's that complicated name, but nouns at the end. I won't say it. I won't butcher it. And a nice detail is that it's quite transparent, the belly part, and you can see the organs, which is kind of also like us. Everything is out in the open. That side that I showed you where every proposal is there. We do everything in the open, the good and the bad, whatever passes or didn't pass, it's an on-chain record that it's not changeable. So there's nobody that can delete a proposal, for example. It's all on the technology of blockchain permissionless in that sense. So it's pretty great well, as I said, I'm biased. I love nouns. I have it even tattooed. So maybe don't take my word for it, but the work that has been done in different arenas, also like SackXBT, crypto researcher to unveil scams and bugs, was funded by Nouns to keep the good work in the community. So there's not a single topic like, oh, we just fund schools, we just fund code, or we just fund art. It's pretty much the vibe of the proposal, and if the proposer can deliver on it, it's definitely important. And that's what I was saying, now, to do the due diligence on the person proposing, if they have the abilities to do it or deliver on what they're trying to achieve. And if you're now thinking or having this incentive, oh, I can join and try to do something, you're definitely welcome. That's literally our use case. We want to allocate capital in fun stuff that we can then put in a presentation like this for people, and just grow this web page, which is quite small. It's quite new. There's not all of the projects we have funded, but it's in different arenas. Even the esports team we had, I think they were top 3 to top 5 in a video game, which I don't know. I'm not a gamer, but if you're definitely interested in that, there are also sub communities. Given the CC0 branding, people have taken our assets and create a more focused DAO just for their specific topic, like esports in this case, or NARS, which we do novel rails, so you can skate on it all over the world. Stone Nouns, which is here right now. And yeah, basically any type of activity. Also the surfer, a pretty cool idea. They did a cleanup, also beaches in I think in Brazil. So yeah, we found basically any type of stuff like that. And yeah, you just gotta go through governance and also like build by proof of work. Their reputation is very important on what you leave on the blockchain. It's definitely an influence in if you can really deliver what you're trying to build. It's always good to start small and over deliver to keep growing. Because if you fail us in some type of way, don't deliver what you said on the proposal, forget about getting funding in the future. Like it now literally takes it personally if you don't deliver. I mean, we won't go to your house and anything like that, but yeah, you'll never get funding. The reputation really matters, and on the top of blockchain, I think it allows it very good to build this social credit of what you're living in this world. And if it's a positive impact, I think we're pretty vibe with that. That's our whole idea. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Davide. Thank you. Maybe, I mean, yeah, you see, Nouns is great. And maybe someone has some question. We have a few minutes for a couple of questions to Fatty. Yes?
Hi. Yeah. What are the main challenges that you have right now in your DAO?
In the last year, we've been focusing more on self-sustainability. We kind of knew that treasury is not infinite. So we're now focusing more on not spending more than when we bring in. And our bringing in is basically just selling NFTs. We don't have a business per se that you can own shares, or we have a product like a beer. Well, actually, we have a CC0 recipe of a beer you can produce in your house or with a in your local brewery, but we don't get revenue from that directly. That's what I'm telling you. Like the only revenue to the treasury is the NFTs. So that's our only like sale. When we get like the 30-day rolling basis, we get renewed. Basically with that money we can spend it to keep growing and not die this year, because if not we'll run out of money. That's the only limitation, I would say.
What was?
In the meantime, but
Yes.
before that one, we also had problems of people not delivering, and since it's an anon wallet, anybody can do a ETH wallet for free. It's also difficult to do that, not KYCing, but filter of good people. Well, now we actually do KYC because we became the first DAO to formally create an institution in Wyoming, the USA. So that's pretty great. It gives us more certification and insurance now that you can deliver, because there's the KYC process. So it helps, definitely.
What actions are you taking, I guess, in terms of spending, or how does the need to sustain the treasury affect spending on proposals? So what proposals do you want to see that you think have an effect on getting higher bids on auctions?
We don't focus very much. Maybe we should focus on what would sell more NFTs in the end, but we believe that just doing cool stuff at the end will be rewarded in some sense, that people will see the project, and if you have the money and capability to afford one, you can get one and just keep the cycle going. But yeah, the 30-day rolling basis thing, that we don't spend more than what we get in, is trying to minimize the running out of funds. And also the size of proposals. We funded 1 million plus proposals in just one go. Now we're separating in more smaller, but it was a natural change. We didn't say it. Like it's just the 30-day rolling basis of being cash positive in some sense, not spend more than we have. But honestly, like 2 months ago, we broke the rule because it was a pretty cool idea. And we went over a bit over the budget, but it's okay now. Like it's more the ideas that make us have something in the future that stays forever. Public accessible assets, skate parks, or even art installations, or code, something that you can build on. That because it can be limiting. Now I can just build whatever I have in my mind with my experiences, but maybe you having other experiences can take this and spin it much better and do something even crazier than the original idea instead of like gatekeeping it. So we truly believe in that aspect now, and I would say that's how we combat it.
Quick question. Are you staking the ETH that's in the treasury?
Yes, right. Didn't mention that part. That's actually literally our second inflow, the staking. Since we have so much ETH, we staked it, I would say, from the beginning. It was, I think, the 6th or the 10th proposal we had. We staked that ETH, but instead, like Octane, they just give out the yield. We use the treasury. And it's small. It's a 2.3% yield, so it doesn't allow us not to do big things, but it's definitely not a nominal amount that at least can fund 1 or 2 projects by month. So it's pretty great. That also gives us some cash flow.
Hi, my name's Aurelia, and I work for a Web3 marketplace called Bezo, and it's our aim to kind of give power to the people, KYC, verified people, by showing people how to sell their attention through a blockchain. And by the way, really honorable projects that you guys are doing. I just wondered if you're also investing in projects that work on a stable coin basis.
Directly that they do a stable coin, or?
So we have a platform of over 500,000 KYC verified users, and we work with brands to kind of take away intermediaries like influencers and Facebook, Google ads. We're going against, because we think that we should sell our own attention to companies like Adidas or whoever. And so we're also in the learn to earn space, and I just thought that there could be an interesting collaboration. Or are you only investing in projects that are environmental, or are you also investing in like human centric?
No, we don't limit ourselves just in environmental or do good. We definitely funded code. But if it's in code specifically, I think the most is like CC0 licensing. If I'm not mistaken, is the MIT one. Is the best that we like because it's open, then anybody can take it and build on top of it, like almost an API that is easily forkable, or that people without the knowledge to do it can use it as an extension of their project and build on top of it. So we don't limit ourselves in as centric. So it's kind of hard at the like telling, oh, we do this. That's why I show like real projects that we have funded. Just to give an idea, but that's also the thing. That's not limited of what we do. Like we can fund whatever thing that passes through the governance body. Now, like there, you have to basically convince now the NFT owners now to allocate money, and if it aligns with the main phrase, now they do good with no expectation of return, create positive externalities, we'll definitely vibe with it and most probably fund it, since we don't have a limitation in
Yeah, sorry, I just intervened. We have, thank you so much for your intervention. Thank you, Davide. We have a last one, last question, and then we must follow with the program, okay?
Just wanted to say that one of the good things that Nouns does, in my opinion, is about governance. They doing like great primitives, governance primitives. I'm thinking about the discussion around the veto power. But also, I remember there was another platform for proposal, like smaller proposals. Is that still active, or are there any other cool things around governance you are doing recently?
You're probably referring to Prop House or Rounds. Yeah.
Prop House.
Actually, one of the Nouners was the creator of this app that allocated smaller grants. We were in the range of 1 to 5 ETH to smaller projects, because normally also at the beginning, right now it's pretty cheap in some sense for gas fees. Since we're on mainnet, at the beginning, I would say the first 2-3 years, gas fees of doing a proposal on chain were over $500. So if you're asking for $600, like, yeah, it doesn't make very much sense. So that's why they were created, these smaller grant applications. Now they're defunct, those two, unfortunately. But we have Nouns.gg, which is our esports sub-DAO. That they did their webpage, and they have a small grants initiative. But yeah, lately we haven't funded that many. It's more in Nouns.gg because yeah, they're defunct the protocols, but also there's CC0. The GitHubs are there, so anybody pays hosting and just put some front end to it, they can still use the contracts of the Prop House or Rounds that is more native to Farcaster. With just a post in Farcaster, you were entering a certain round and could earn on that project of whatever you're being delivered, maybe idea, like a sketch of what you were building, or even already did, like this conference, and we onboarded 3 people, and you can put a post directly on Farcaster, which is like a social media, and you get rewarded for it. So definitely were cool apps. Unfortunately, yeah, the developers moved to other things, but also it's open source, and luckily anybody can vibe it out if they want.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Fatty.